National Working Committee of the new Nigeria's People Party has suspended its chairman, board of committee, Boniface Aniebunam. And we have details of that story in the course of this bulletin. But let's tell you first about what's happening in Oyo State, where to realize a future where the Nigeria police epitomizes strength, professionalism, and commitment, the government must channel investments into education, technology-driven policing, and foster community engagement. And that's the position of the Committee of Retired Inspectors General of Police at the two-day retreat held in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Olaidoyewole has more.
The retreat of the Committee of the Retired Inspectors General of Police is considered the first of its kind in the country. Driven by the passion to address the deteriorating security, the elder statesmen converged on Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, to collectively strategize on the ways the challenges can be tackled head-on.
It was a consensus.
At the end of the two-day discussions, the former police bosses articulated their recommendations through a communique and hope that the government will tap into their expertise as professionals and stakeholders within the security domain.
Technology-driven policing, encouraging community engagement and partnership, we can shape a future where the Nigerian police stands as a beacon of strengths, professionalism, and dedication.
Earlier, the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, while addressing the former police IGPs, advocated the need for proper funding of the police force. Among various suggestions, he highlighted that the outcomes of the meeting should not be ignored, but rather forwarded to the relevant authorities for considerations.
And so I charge the Police Service Commission and the Inspector General of Police to really look inward and see that budgetary provision are adequate to address substantially the security challenges that we have in the country.
At the end of the two-day deliberations, the elder statesmen believe that their recommendations will form the solid blueprint that the current government will utilize to tackle insecurity in Nigeria. Olaidoyewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
The National Working Committee of the new Nigeria People's Party has suspended its chairman, board of committee, Boniface Aniebunam, and its publicity secretary, Agbo Major, over high-handedness and other infractions pending further investigations. At a press conference held today in Abuja, acting national chairman Abba Ali recalled the event that led to this decision, including a Unitarian reversing the decision of the National Working Committee in suspending some members of the party. The party insists that this decision doesn't in any way lead to the factionalization of the party. I'm joined now by the National Auditor of the NNPP, Ladipo Johnson, for more on this development. Mr. Johnson, thank you for joining us on the news at 7. You know, some observers are concerned about how early it seems the NNPP is having these challenges after having a very impressive outing in the just concluded general election. Some have even fingered the party's presidential candidate, Rabiu Kwankwaso, as the reason for this in his attempt to completely take charge of the party. How do you react to this?
Well, good evening. Thanks for having me. Unfortunately, and it is unfortunate, things have gotten to this stage, to this level. It is normal that after every election, a party takes stock of what has happened and you try to reposition your party. When the process began, unfortunately, there were some people who were found to have been involved in anti-party activities, etc., during the elections. And I think 2 of the gentlemen were expelled. Some were suspended later. Some of the chapters, the executive committees of the chapters, were dissolved. Dr. Aniebunam, naturally, people went to him, some of those who were suspended. Unfortunately, he didn't advise them to take advantage of provisions of the Constitution which allowed for an appeal process and for matters to be resolved. Indeed, one of them went to court in Ogun State, and the court threw him out because it said that he hadn't gone through the appeal process and everything that is inside the constitution of the party. So it is very unfortunate that the Dr. Ayebunam felt it was his duty to solely write certain letters, reversing decisions of the working committee, reversing decisions of the NEC, decisions that had been ratified by the NEC. Now we respect him. We realize that he has a role to play, but you don't play that role alone, that's one, and your role is advisory. It's a political party and we want everyone to be on board, but we feel that it is necessary. Yes.
That's the position of the National Working Committee. But let me also tell you the position of, some other people who have reacted to this story. They are asking, is this how the NNPP repays a founding member of the party, Dr. Ayebunam, given all it did for the party pre-election? And they've also asked questions like, were there other means of resolving this before enacting the provision of the party's constitution?
Thank you very much. This in no way is an attempt to repay him or not pay him or what have you. This is an attempt to keep the sanctity of the constitution of the party, to keep things going properly and the repositioning of the party. We realize, I said earlier, that we respect him, but things have gone too far. And you cannot respect someone and bring in chaos into the party. I think the main issue here is that in his trying to intervene, he has forgotten that the party is no longer like a one-man party. We have people from all walks of life, people from various states. That is the problem. And I don't think it is fair to say that some people are trying to hijack the party. No. We have a constitution. We had conventions. We had executive positions, executives in place. So INEC knows all this. It is a constitution. It is no longer the fact that there were God knows how many founding fathers. They're there. But they have to, it is like any other association. They have to operate by the Constitution. And we say the National Working Committee wants these teething issues to be resolved. Right now, as we speak, I have seen releases by them saying that they want to hold a board meeting, I think on the 28th or so of this month. He cannot just call the board meeting. The Board of Trustees hasn't even been inaugurated.
Mr. Johnson.
Well, that is the problem. Yes, sir.
You didn't respond specifically to, the insinuation that Rabi Musa Kwakwaso is at the center of this. That's on one part. The letter also stated that the NNPP
May I just say very quickly that Senator Kwankwaso and the chairman, Dr. Ayebunam, have met several times. Senator Kwankwaso has flown to Lagos several times on various issues. They've met several times. It is not, look, this is politics. We need everybody. It's not in our interest to say some people should go away. And that is not what the National Working Committee is saying. The Working Committee is simply saying that, look, let us have some stability. Let us have a proper direction. Let us move in accordance with our Constitution. No one wants to chase anyone out. No one wants to do that. And Senator Kwankwaso definitely doesn't want to do that. I know for certain he knew nothing about what happened. And I know that
the reality, Mr. Johnson,
several members... Sorry?
is asking I said the reality is that the NWC is asking about 7 chairmen of the party to step aside, as well as one of the founders of the NNPP. But that's our time. We probably will return to this conversation subsequently. National Auditor of the NNPP, Ladipo Johnson, thank you for talking to us on the news tonight.
Thank you.